Today, we gotta talk about these crazy Bitcoin gains and the potential of how Bitcoin can definitely reposition you financially into a great place. We're gonna talk about two instances of this. The first instance of this is what took place in El Salvador. The next instance of this will be documented and hardcore evidence of what I call the Bitcoin time value of money, or the time value of Bitcoin. All right, the time value of Bitcoin. Now, shout out to the financial people, right? The financial people know what time value of money is. We're talking about net present value, internal rate of return, all of these type of financial calculations, right? I don't know if these type of calculations exist. Probably companies like MicroStrategy have created their own formulas for things like this, dealing with the time value of Bitcoin. But people really need to start making these time value of cryptocurrency calculations. And the reason why is because cryptocurrency time value moves in a very different way than the time value of fiat currency or the time value of fiat equity, which I would call stocks, right? And again, this is one of the reasons why I call cryptocurrency investing quantum investing versus the stock market or commodities market as physical investing, because as you can see, the cryptocurrency market is very small, and small things move very different than large things. And you see this in the physical world. This is why, in physics, they have the science of how molecules are dealt with versus how particles are dealt with, and how things move on a quantum level versus how they move on a level larger than quantum. All right. So it's interesting how you can apply this math to these very similar applications. All right. First instance, look at El Salvador. All right. El Salvador's Bitcoin gains top $300 million. That's wild, right? El Salvador's unrealized gains of more than $300 million on its Bitcoin purchase came as Bitcoin broke through the $100,000 milestone price. All right. Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele highlighted the country's unrealized gains from its Bitcoin investments on social media after the cryptocurrency surpassed $100,000 for the first time. On December 5th, Bitcoin reached $100,000 for the first time, sparking celebrations within the crypto community. That same day, Autism Capital, a cryptocurrency account on X, asked Bukele to share El Salvador's Bitcoin portfolio to dunk on the haters. Bukele responded by posting the country's Bitcoin holdings on X. So as you guys can see, here are the country's Bitcoin holdings on X. All right. Current balance. All right. $603,340,991. This is up 117.74%. All right. 326,245,977.98. The total profit, wow, $333,597,190.20. All right, look at that. And they haven't sold any off, so that's just how you see the unrealized profit. That is wild, all from Bitcoin investment, right? Bukele's latest update shows the country has spent nearly $270 million on Bitcoin since its initial adoption of the cryptocurrency. The portfolio shows no Bitcoin has been sold, and unrealized gains now exceed $333 million. That is wild. El Salvador's Bitcoin journey. El Salvador was the first country to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender. On September 7th of 2021, the country's Bitcoin law came into effect, officially making Bitcoin a currency legally recognized for financial exchanges within El Salvador. On September 6th, the government also purchased its first 200 Bitcoin. Since then, El Salvador has continued to acquire Bitcoin. On November 17th of 2022, Bukele announced a dollar cost averaging strategy committed to buying one Bitcoin daily. Okay. Nayib Tracker, a platform dedicated to tracking the country's Bitcoin investments, reports that El Salvador holds 6,180 Bitcoin. The tracker estimates the average purchase price at $44,730 $9.88 per Bitcoin, meaning the country is up 122% based on current market prices. Okay. Besides Bitcoin profit, El Salvador has reported other benefits since adopting Bitcoin. The country's decision to adopt Bitcoin also boosted tourism. Wow. The IMF, the haters, of course, calls on El Salvador to ditch Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you guys this. Why would the IMF call on El Salvador to ditch Bitcoin? One of the reasons why the IMF would call on El Salvador to ditch Bitcoin is because Bitcoin kind of takes away the hold or the influence that the IMF might have on Bitcoin financially or on El Salvador financially, right? They would like to maintain control. Bitcoin kind of gives a little bit of freedom from that control. You know what I'm saying? Despite the country's reported success, the International Monetary Fund has consistently urged El Salvador to reconsider its Bitcoin policies. Why? On January 25th of 2022, the IMF asked El Salvador to stop recognizing Bitcoin as a legal tender, citing risks to financial stability, despite acknowledging the potential for increased financial inclusion. Again, it just doesn't make any sense. On October 3rd, the IMF renewed its call to El Salvador to scale back its Bitcoin policies. The IMF communication director, Julie Kozak, recommended narrowing the scope of the country's Bitcoin law and limiting the public sector's exposure to Bitcoin. And again, why? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Look at those gains. With Bitcoin, you could put together a retirement plan that's going to give you more money during a retirement or more money during the future, during the present, than you could with any other asset, which equates to large amount of gains in a quick amount of time. But as you can see, the power organizations are saying, stop that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is aware of the Trump-induced Bitcoin rally, right? According to analysts, this rally will continue until the end of 2025. Okay. Bitcoin's historic $100,000 milestone comes despite sluggish momentum in oil and gold and the S&P 500 index. All of the quote unquote legacy investments, right? Bitcoin is outperforming and has been for its entire lifespan, has been outperforming them. Okay. Bitcoin hit the historic $100,000 milestone despite a lack of price momentum in most major global assets and a backdrop of declining global liquidity. Bitcoin surpassed the 100,000 high for the first time on December 6th, and a long-awaited milestone for crypto history. The historic peak comes despite sluggish performance across other major global assets. Over the past month, Bitcoin's price surged by 32%, while oil dropped 6.3% and the S&P 500 fell 1% and gold declined by 1%. Okay, so if you are one of those people who thought that Bitcoin is a scam and you invested in one of these legacy investments, you kind of only scammed yourself. Bitcoin's rally against other global assets is a promising signal for Bitcoin investors, bolstering analysts' expectations that the current bull run rally will last until the end of 2025 in what's known as the quote-unquote euphoria stage in crypto trader slang. Bitcoin rally until the end of 2025 in quote-unquote euphoria stage. All right. Bitcoin has entered the euphoria stage based on the long-term holder net unrealized profit loss metric. This could extend Bitcoin's rally until the end of 2025, according to Quentin Francis, co-founder of We Write, who wrote in a December 7th X post. Bitcoin is entering the euphoria stage. You have a maximum of 12 months before the cycle tops. All right. So now let me ask you guys that question. What does that mean for investment? All right. What does that mean? Let me know what you guys think. The NUPL is used to measure whether the overall Bitcoin network is at a state of profit or loss based on the difference between unrealized profit and unrealized loss among Bitcoin holders. Another promising sign for Bitcoin's trajectory is that the all-time high came despite a backdrop of global liquidity, according to James Coates, chief crypto analyst at Real Vision, who wrote in a December X post, Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high. See this? Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high in the face of deteriorating liquidity backdrop. If conditions worsen, the rally, while euphoric, can only last for a limited time. If conditions ease from here, then a pullback is warranted. But then off we go again. All right. So it would not be surprising to expect a pullback, but at the same time, that pullback will be a temporary correction, and then we will be right back on the path that we are on, which is a great one. A potential bottom in the global M2 liquidity and estimate of all cash and short-term bank deposits also suggests that Bitcoin may extend its rally in the short term before a potential correction. Based on its correlation with the liquidity index, Bitcoin is set for a local top above $110,000 by January 25th, according to Raoul Pal, founder and CEO of Global Macro Investors. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention, right? If you guys go and watch all of my cryptocurrency content, which is not very popular, but interestingly, I'm going to keep it a buck, probably my most accurate content. I've always said that $100,000 was a conservative estimate for the Bitcoin price for the end of this year. And as you can see, it looks like it is. Bitcoin has already surpassed $100,000 several times, and it keeps doing it daily. And this is what we said from the beginning. This is what I was saying back when Bitcoin was $60,000. Not many people heard because, not many people feel the crypto content, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I throw, the punches with the best of them. It just is what it is. Bitcoin choppiness index hints $110,000 in Bitcoin will be a tough price to crack. Bitcoin is getting choppier and the Bitcoin price uptrend less strong, new indicator data suggests. Now, if you ask me, this isn't a bad thing. Honestly, this is somewhat of a good thing. And one of the reasons why this is somewhat of a good thing is because it suggests a stability. With stability, you're going to kind of always decrease in the price jumps that you have. But if you decrease in the price jumps, then that also means you decrease in the price falls. So as Bitcoin becomes increasingly massive, there starts to be a solid line of volatility resistance. And this is one metric of that, which is a good thing. This is a really good thing, if you ask me. Bitcoin faces more choppy moves as a dedicated Bitcoin price metric boils over. Research from on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant on December 6th suggests that range-bound behavior will keep frustrating Bitcoin bulls. And I don't think this frustrates Bitcoin bulls. I believe that this frustrates people who look to short Bitcoin for short-term profits. Anybody that's holding Bitcoin is more concerned about the nominal amount of Bitcoin or percentage of one Bitcoin that they have, more so than selling and taking off profits. Okay. Analyst, Bitcoin risks a choppy end to 2024. Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high near 104,000 this week preceded a snap crash of more than 10%. With liquidations nearing 1 billion in just 24 hours, traders received a classic reminder of how volatile crypto markets can be. CryptoQuant, however, now sees a different short-term picture, boring Bitcoin price action. The 14-day choppiness index is in a early zone, showing corrective moves during consolidation. Contributor Percival wrote in one of its quick take blog posts. Percival used the choppiness index to demonstrate that Bitcoin to US dollar is now embarking on a quote unquote cooling off period after its flash volatility. CI uses a scale of 0 to 100 with higher values indicating choppier market conditions. A low value, conversely, points to a trending market, both up and down, crossing the 60 level from below or the 30 level from above represents events of interest to traders eyeing a potential switch from choppy to trending and vice versa. Daily CI measured 56.7 at the time of writing on December 7th, per data from Cointelegraph, Markets Pro, and TradingView after hitting its highest levels since mid-August. one thing to take into account is the time factor of consolidation. And there you go. I mean, I said this at the beginning of the video. In the 2020 and 2021 cycles, there were 20 days of downtime. And in the consolidation since March, the average decline was 20 days. Perceval continued. Okay. The greater the consolidation, the greater the rise. So basically what they mean is the greater the correction, the greater the spring back. And this is one of the reasons why, as you guys know, I always tell people when it comes to Bitcoin, the price that you want to look for the crashes. The prices of concern should not really be how high Bitcoin is. The prices of how high Bitcoin is, if you're holding Bitcoin, that's your comfortability factor. If you're not holding Bitcoin and you're looking to buy, the floor is where you want to buy, because the distance between the lowest price that you buy and the highest price that Bitcoin gets decreases your average purchasing price, which gives you a larger unrealized gain, which is what you want to be sitting on. And again, this isn't financial advice. This is just metrics that I use. And these metrics have been extremely successful for me. And shout out to the people in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, make sure you join. This has been evidenced with data backed up over the past 2 years that can be verified and validated by simply scrolling through the cryptocurrency investors section of the Discord. All right. New Bitcoin price consolidation due at $110,000. All right, so people should pay very close attention to this. Okay, we're gonna see and pay close attention to how Bitcoin starts to behave at $110,000. While a longer consolidation period should result in a more violent return to trend for the short term, Bitcoin bulls may see frustratingly slow progress on price discovery. And again, the longer the Bitcoin price stays at a stable low, that is a buying opportunity, if you ask me. That is a buying opportunity, if you ask me. Consolidating likely Bitcoin price targets once this happens. Perceval used both market psychology and the profitability of speculative traders as a guide. Specifically, short-term holders, entities holding coins for up to 155 days will see profit landmarks at 110,000 and 120,000. These levels broadly correspond to standard deviations on an indicator measuring their aggregate realized price. We're talking about standard deviations. Shout out to the quality control. Looking at the realized price of STH, we can market possible levels of strong resistance that we will encounter. The first level will be 110,000 plus 5 SD, a considerable profit zone for STH, the post continued. All right, so people need to really be paying attention to this stuff. All right, so pay very close attention to this. So, if you ask me, according to this, right, I honestly don't think that these are bad buying prices that we have right now, because again, it's difficult to tell, right? Because Bitcoin is going so crazy right now with the Trump effect. However, if what it's saying is true and there's going to be a halting on the price after the consolidation, whatever it consolidates to, it's probably going to jump higher than what the prices are now. So what you want to do is, again, if you ask me, pay very close attention to what that floor is and then make your evidence-based decision based on that floor. All right. Now we're going to take a look at how Bitcoin has behaved financially historically and see what you were doing during these times when Bitcoin was building momentum. All right. And we're going to ask the question of what cryptocurrencies right now provide similar financial gain opportunities to what Bitcoin has provided over its lifespan. All right. This is an article here from Bankrate. All right. And this article was published on December 5th of 2024. This is a very interesting article. Very, very interesting. Bitcoin just hit $100,000. What if you had invested $1,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago? What would have happened? Would you have gotten scammed? You would have gotten scammed if you bought at the lows and sold at the highs. You would have scammed yourself, because who invests like that? Bitcoin price has fluctuated up and down ever since its inception in 2009, leaving some investors with notable gains or losses and others left wondering what might have been if only they had invested sooner or held. You guys know my philosophy. Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, I don't sell those. I buy those, I lock them up for interest or stake them, and I do not sell those. I only buy Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum to hold. I have no plans of ever selling my Bitcoin, Solana, or Ethereum. I don't do short-term profits with legacy cryptocurrencies or high market cap stakeable cryptocurrencies. I make profits with meme coin when it comes to selling, and some meme coins I have a threshold for when I plan to sell them. So this is not what I do. I don't look for short-term profits. So my strategies will look and sound different to other people. All right. Remember, the guy who made the first real-world Bitcoin transaction in 2010, he paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. The coins were worth about $40 then, and $1 billion when Bitcoin's price broke $100,000 for the first time in December of 2024. Okay. For those who invested early in Bitcoin and stayed invested, the rewards have been nothing short of staggering, but could just as likely have been a total loss. Crypto is highly speculative, driven solely by investor sentiment, and thousands of coins never even crack 1 cent in value, which again means absolutely nothing, right? Because people have become billionaires off of coins that have never reached a penny. Never reaching a penny is nothing. If a coin is worth 10 thousandths of a cent and the coin goes to 1/100th of a cent, depending on how much of that coin you've had, it never reached a penny. But guess what? If you're holding a decent amount of it, you made a decent profit. You know what I'm saying? How much money you'd have if you had invested $1,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago. So let me know in the comment section. Shout out to the live viewers and shout out to the people who watched this video up to this point. Let me know what you think. Every crypto investor wants a time machine to invest yesterday in the best performing crypto. But let's look at where Bitcoin started and how it's going now. Bitcoin's price has experienced several swings over the years, driven almost entirely by investor sentiment, though crypto isn't immune to other shifts in the market, such as fluctuating interest rates and the introduction of spot Bitcoin ETFs. And let me tell you guys something. Under this Trump presidency, do not be shocked to see certain meme coin ETFs happen. They're going to start ranking particular meme coins. If you ask me, in particular, quote unquote, the dog sector, and those dog sector meme coins are going to be a financial portfolio that is going to be, quote unquote, highly marketed. And some of the top coins, the top meme coins, the dog coins, you are going to see the prices skyrocket unrealistically. It is possible that some of these dog coins will blow past Bitcoin, not in terms of price, but in terms of percentage gain. You're gonna see, man, we got 4 years and we're gonna be watching this stuff like a hawk. Debuting in January of 2009, Bitcoin's price broke the $1 milestone for the first time in February 2011. Think about that, a $1 Bitcoin. Fast forward to 2024, when Bitcoin soared to several record highs, even breaking $100,000 on December 4th. With those price fluctuations in mind, here's how much a $1,000 investment in Bitcoin is worth today if you'd invested 1 year ago. Time value of Bitcoin 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 15 years ago. The calculation is based on $102,000, which is about where Bitcoin is trading today on December 5th of 2024. Historical price data are from CoinMarketCap. 1 year ago, if you'd invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2023, your investment would be worth $2,314. So this is for those people that always ask the question, is it too late to get in? I don't know. What do these charts say? What do these charts say about if it's quote unquote too late to get in? You let me know. 5 years ago, if you'd invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2019, your investment would be worth $13,694. 10 years ago, if you'd invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2014, your investment would be worth $270,665. Now, if you look at these at price points 1, 5, and 10, if you're holding Bitcoin for, from 1 year ago, if you're holding Bitcoin from 5 years ago, if you're holding Bitcoin from 10 years ago, as long as this number is positive, the gain, I don't think that if there's a gain, it's too late to get in. I think when you start seeing these in terms of losses, then you might want to consider, things might be a little bit different. But since there's no record of losses, I don't know why the question of, is it too late to get in, ever even comes up. I don't understand. There's stocks that literally have net losses over a year or 2 years, and literally nobody ever asks, quote unquote, is it too late to get in? But there's no signs of losses when it comes to Bitcoin as long as you're holding. And for whatever reason, people still ask the question of, is it too late to get in? Well, if you had invested last year $1,000, you'd have made $1,300. I don't know. Do you consider that too late? 5 years ago, if you had invested $1,000, you would have made $1,200. I don't know. Is that too late to get in? 10 years ago, if you had invested $1,000, you would have made $269,000. I don't know. Is that too late to get in? I don't know. I don't know why somebody would think that making $2,314 on a $1,000 investment, I don't know by what gauge that's too late to get in. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't process that kind of logic, so I can't rationalize or justify that kind of thought process for anybody. But this is what people say. 15 years ago, if you'd invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2009, your investment would be worth $103 billion. Bitcoin traded at 0.00099. So this is tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So 99 10,000ths of a cent per Bitcoin in late 2009, when $1 equaled 1,309 Bitcoin. Oh, wow. Those gains are wild, but it bears repeating. Crypto is speculative. You could have lost the entire $1,000. I don't know how. Again, if you had held, you wouldn't have. But again, that's if you're playing with selling. Let's double down on the regret and say you took the speculative nature to heart and only invested $1 in Bitcoin. 1 year ago, $1 investment would be worth $2.31 since Bitcoin is up 131% from December of 2023. Now, right, $1 still would have doubled. You would have gotten more than double your money. 5 years ago, $1 investment would be worth $13.69 since Bitcoin is up 1,269% from December 2019. 10 years ago, $1 investment would be worth $277.66 since Bitcoin is up 26,967% from December of 2014. That is only 7 years ago. That's only 7 years ago. 15 years ago, $1 investment would be worth $103 million. Oh my God. Since Bitcoin is up 10.3 billion% from late 2009. That is wild. Is Bitcoin a good investment? I don't know. You tell me. What do you guys think? Is there any other investments where people are making that kind of money? I don't know. Somebody please tell me, based on the information in this article that I'm reading, is Bitcoin a good investment? Who am I to say, right? As exciting as it can be to dream about big wins, big losses are just as possible. Again, don't be one of those people that sells on the floor and buys on the ceiling. Of course, you will lose. Literally, the strategy of cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, has always been to hashtag HODL. It's always been to hold. If you are holding, you will have not lost any money. You only lose money when you sell your Bitcoin on the floor. You know what I'm saying? As exciting as it can be to dream about big wins, big losses are just as possible. Investing in crypto is extremely risky and comes with cybersecurity and regulatory challenges. Crypto prices can plunge simply based on what other investors are willing to pay for it. Whether Bitcoin will continue its upward momentum in price is impossible to predict. You should only invest money in crypto that you're comfortable losing. If you do invest in crypto, maintain a diversified portfolio. And there's some crypto companies like crypto.com, use my link that's in the description box as a referral, right? And know that investing in Bitcoin ETFs is also an option. Then you have options to do Bitcoin-based companies like MicroStrategies. An exchange-traded fund can be cheaper and easier way to trade Bitcoin, although ETFs don't make investing in crypto any less speculative. And we will be talking about these ETFs very soon, because ETFs are going to be one of the things that insanely inflate the price of cryptocurrency. And like I said, what you're probably going to see within the next couple of years is meme coin ETFs, coins like Doge, especially Doge, coins like Shiba, coins like Pepe, coins like Bonk. All of these are probably at some point going to be part of a ETF. Okay. Bottom line, Bitcoin has skyrocketed and plummeted throughout its life. I mean, not really, but okay. I don't know how you can say that it's plummeted when there's literally no record. I think there might be 2 or 3 years in the history of Bitcoin where there was entire net loss. You could just as easily have won big or lost big. And again, honestly, not really. If you buy and hold Bitcoin, there's no person on the planet who has bought and held Bitcoin who's lost money. If you bought and held, you have not lost money. If you buy and sell, then you can possibly lose money at this current moment. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies that will never amount to much value. Don't let these big gains in the world's most successful cryptocurrency blind you. So again, what they're also doing is comparing Bitcoin to other cryptocurrencies, which is not a fair comparison because Bitcoin is in a class of its own. Don't let these big gains in the world's most successful cryptocurrency blind you. The price of crypto isn't backed by anything tangible, which again, that's not a true statement. I don't know why people continue to say that. That is not a true statement. Price volatility is the rule, not the exception. Invest with caution. Okay. So again, where were you at 5, 10, 15 years ago? Did you ever buy and sell any Bitcoin? I know I have. But I tell you what, I've learned and I've evolved. And right now we are killing it. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you think. Shout out to the people that watched the video all the way through to the end. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to Tales from the Cryptocurrency, take a moment, subscribe to Tales from the Cryptocurrency, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right?